In this video, we're going to dive into the evolution of the Tesla Powerwall. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony Sakari from New York State Solar Farm, and I'm joined by Mike French, one of the Tesla OGs from Eco Solar, Hawaii. Mike, it looks really beautiful where you are. How's it going?
It's gone, man. Tough weather conditions, mid 80s, palm trees, coconuts, living the life, living the dream. It's a tough place to live, my friend. I think I have like 6 feet of sand out there. I got to shovel later on.
Listen, here in New York right now, it's pouring rain, it's cold, and it absolutely sucks. So thanks for rubbing it in. Really appreciate it.
I look at the poor guys on the West Coast right now. It's yeah. We're just living the dream out here, brother. As you know, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
gorgeous. Yeah,
Well, Mike, I'm excited to make this video together. We've wanted to make it for a little bit since we got the news that the Powerwall 3 was coming out. And we said, instead of just making a video strictly about the Powerwall 3, why don't we make it about the evolution of the Tesla Powerwall? So before we get started into that, I wanted to just share a quick picture of you and I, Mike. This is Hawaii 2018 Sun Power Dealer Conference. Was in San Diego. Snowstorm hit the Northeast, and Bianca and I hopped on a flight with you back to Hawaii and got a crash course in the Tesla Powerwall and how you guys were making solar work at that time. Because I mean, that was a transition and a half for you guys, right, Mike?
yeah. I mean, you remember that conversation? It was we were in San Diego, and you guys were dealt a blow, like you couldn't go really home. Unfortunately, you had to face that snow,
Yep.
that beautiful snow. And I kept on telling you, and just like everyone in the room when we were there at Sun Power Dealer Conferences, that you guys need to step on the gas and kind of get yourself ready for energy and backup. I think that transition was a very crucial time, and I don't think anybody kind of really. I mean, everyone is kind of dived into storage, and with all the different outback systems and what was available at those times, we've been in this industry a long time,
Yep.
but no one really stepped up like Tesla did and made it affordable, made it easy. I mean, it was just a lot of things that were setting up. And then we knew in Hawaii it was a really big thing. Hawaii were usually last in everything as far as like technology or moving things along, but when it came to storage, we got a really good jump start, more so than anybody across the country, because we were faced with a huge transition to ghost storage because of what's happening to utilities, especially losing net metering. That was a big blow, and we knew it was going to be a big blow. Um, I don't think anybody realized how big of a blow it was going to be, but I mean, we lost, I think, probably 90% of the companies because of that blow.
So
Um,
90% of the companies in Hawaii washed out because they lost net metering and had no battery storage solution to lean back on at that time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Tesla announces their battery solution, and the next thing you know, everyone wants the Tesla battery because all of Elon's products were just phenomenal at the time, and again, he made it economical. Um,
Now, Mike,
it's
The Tesla Powerwall, I was looking up the date that it first came out, the Tesla Powerwall 1. That was 2015. And when that Powerwall got released, we put our paperwork into Tesla to get that, to become a dealer, to get access to the Powerwall. I mean, they did not even respond back to us at that time. And I think the focus was really on your market in Hawaii because that's where you guys needed batteries. There was no net metering. So all focus went to you guys, and we got batteries. We were a second thought because it wasn't crucial to making solar work at that point in time. So when we came out to you in 2018, that was the first time we really got hands on and got to see the Tesla Powerwall, up close and in person.
Yeah, that was fortunate for us. That was kind of like a godsend. Like you know, um, they wanted to deploy the batteries in this environment because it was harsh. It was a critical environment where they can run it through its tests and just see how well it performs in Hawaii. Um, there's a lot of um, thanks that Tesla did that, because without that, I think our solar market would have been done.
Yeah.
Honestly, like done. Um, that was the saving grace for us. Elon also made it important to send a lot of batteries like other places like Guam and stuff, hit some major blows, and they were making systems completely off grid at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2015 to come around 2016 in June, I believe it was. If I think back, I just saw a picture of it recently. When we got our first training, I got my first name badge of Tesla training here on the island with Powerwall number 1. Um, a lot has changed since then. Powerwall 1. It's yeah, a lot of
Well,
changes for sure.
that's
Yeah.
a perfect segue into it, Mike, because in this video, we're going to dive into the evolution of the Tesla Powerwall. And we're going to go to one of your first installs. I had to go to the archives on your website to find this, but take us through this system. I mean, this looks like a beast and a half. This system, Tesla Powerwall 1, one of your first customers with it, right? I mean, ridiculous setup here in the garage.
Yeah, it was at the time Elon had just basically chose solar as the inverter. This system actually has 3 power walls on it. The other power wall is actually to the left. Um, whopping seven, I even forget now, seven something kW per battery. Um, and yeah, it's just amazing looking at this, because I mean, it was short lived. It was a breakthrough technology, compact, uh, looked really good. And this was the beginning, just like anything in technology. You always have to start somewhere. I mean, just like solar, when you and I were selling 150-watt modules back in the day,
Yeah.
and we look back now, it's like that's kind of crazy. So, but yeah, this was the beginning, and the system's still working till this day.
I was just going to
And
ask you, I was like, this thing's still pumping in this guy's
it's still
garage till
pumping.
this day.
Yeah, yeah, it's still pumping his garage. Nice guy, young guy, loved technology, and he was one of our very first ones here. So this was probably late middle of 2016 right here. This install happened, and yeah, great house, great house.
So, Mike, now
So
we're going to fast forward to the Tesla Powerwall 2. And here's another one of your installs I pulled off your site. Um, yeah,
go for it.
take us through this one because this is when I got access to Tesla as well. This is what we were installing, the Tesla Powerwall 2, and also with the original gateway. So that gray box right in the middle, the big one with
Mhm.
the two black antennas on the top. This is this is the next version, right?
Yeah, it's the next version. Again, the SolarEdge device. This is the SolarEdge HD. So obviously the SolarEdge inverters got smaller. One thing about the technology and what it's done is simplifying as we progress, as we going through. As you'll see these photos, you'll start seeing less and less equipment on the wall, redundant stuff, I should say.
And
You
and
have that
also,
consumption monitoring and everything. Yeah.
Mike, to add to that with the less equipment, here's a little bit of a fast forward to my house as well. So still a lot of equipment on the wall, but now we're
Hmm.
using microinverters. So now microinverters coupled with
Yeah.
Tesla Powerwall 2 and the Tesla original gateway.
Hmm.
This is my system at my home in the basement that's 20 feet to the left of me. Um, Also, each of these batteries were 13.5 kilowatt hours of backup storage. What was the original Tesla Powerwall storage backup?
I think it was 7.5. I think
Okay.
7.5 was the number. If I may be mistaken, but it's been a couple homes ago since I did that system. I do a few homes, so um, but yeah, it's just amazing. And then if you look at your system there, yes, less equipment. You still have gateway number 1, basically.
Yeah.
It's old style. Elon, I guess at the time didn't realize what that thing looked like. Then one day, I guess he was in the warehouse when he saw that thing. He immediately told his engineers, "I don't like the way that thing looks. You need to get rid of it ASAP." So that was how the whole discussion, how that thing became. And so this next photo, you'll probably see is Gateway 2, and it's a nice clean. There we go.
Here it is.
and
Yeah, this is
there
an
it is.
install in Millbrook, New York that we did, single
Hmm.
Powerwall job, um,
Hmm.
and the, Tesla Gateway too, and this a lot of people when we this is the first thing we install, and some people are like, "Oh, is that the battery?" And we're like, "No, that's just
Yeah,
transfer switch."
yeah. Hey, you know what though? Shoot, Anthony, 10 years from now, you never know.
Yeah,
That could be the size of a battery, it could be the size of a shoebox. Who knows? But
absolutely.
this is gateway, gateway two, and this is, I mean, looking at it is a really beautiful design. It's so nice as a battery, and so like I mean, even with all the how elegant it is, anything on the market today, that if a homeowner were to buy another battery solution or look at another battery solution, nothing looks as good as this. I mean, these people put it in their home, and it's like a centerpiece. It's a really um, work of art. I think so
This
personally.
so this Powerwall is in all of our marketing collateral, and you could see in the corner they have, like, these fake flowers in the corner. The homeowner pushed them in the front of the Powerwall, and it was just the coolest setup right there. This is like their little workshop in here in the basement of the house, and just a really cool little setup that they had, so
Yeah, really nice. Powerwall too.
so now
Nice.
the next one after this, Mike, we're gonna go to the Tesla Powerwall Plus, and this is an install that you texted me, uh,
Yeah,
this past week. I mean, you just started doing the Powerwall Pluses. How long ago? A couple like, what's the time frame? You just started doing them, right?
it literally just started doing them. Yeah, so James has been hounding me for a while to switch, for us to switch and telling, Benny to switch over. Um, and to be honest, this setup has got a couple things going on that's really, really cool on it. So just to simplify it, um, now you see that the equipment, everything you see on that wall is basically the entire system. We
Yeah,
went from that huge display of equipment on the wall to basically reducing it down to a couple white boxes now. So the inverter is on top. That also serves. Um, it actually has a multitude of things. It has your inverter, the gateway, everything's here. This also has they call the remote switch now. The remote switch is another game changer they came up with. I mean, it's the most brilliant thing ever. Basically, it's a collar that goes around the meter. We have it in a baggie there. Unfortunately, we cannot touch the meter. Only the utility can touch the meter.
yeah,
So what we do is we prep everything, get everything ready for the utility. They come on over, they pull the meter off. They put a little a collar behind the meter. The meter just goes back into that same socket that you see uh, right there where that orange bag is.
yeah.
And basically that creates a whole house backup. Um, Before in the other gateways you saw before, can you go back to that last photo real fast, Anthony?
Yeah, sure. Just one sec. Let me go.
Your beautiful one in New York, real fast.
Yeah,
So basically, on this one, if you were to draw a line underneath that gateway there, you see those large conduit grade lines going to that gateway. There was your backup load into this box. So with the new collar, and it basically we removed that because we don't need to ring the utility on this one here. I don't need to we need to bring big lines down to the gateway or the inverter. The collar takes over that whole place.
yeah.
Small little line, and we attach it there, and it's super clean, and it's
So
just ridiculous.
So
Yeah,
you're at an advantage a little bit, when it comes to that. In New York, they have not approved that collar yet. So
yeah.
so anyone watching this video that's gonna get solar battery, Tesla from us in New York, we have to install the gateway still. We're trying to get the utilities to adopt what Hawaii has, but it's a grind here in New York to get that through, so
Hey, if we can do it in Hawaii, I believe New York people can do it, no problem.
and French, the other thing with the Powerwall Plus and the big difference between this and the Powerwall 2 is, and I know you touched on it already, but that box on the top, that's your inverter now. I mean, now Tesla entered the inverter market and trying to simplify another end of what was a complicated process where you had microinverters or string inverters that weren't part of the ecosystem. So now you have your panel on the roof, and then you have your Tesla Powerwall, which is not only battery storage, but also the inverter all built into one unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize, and this is really important, and I didn't even know until going to the factories, but Tesla is the largest inverter manufacturer in the world, hands down. Every car has an inverter built into it. So, needless to say, they know a lot about inverters.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even close. It's a I don't want to quote numbers, but it's in a ridiculous, huge, huge margin, right? And like I always tell people, it's the battery that goes on the wall is the same battery that goes in people's car, right? It's the same, fundamentally the same battery. So these guys know more about batteries than anybody on the planet by a long shot. Um, One thing I would say is that, with the homeowners, what they really, when they drive down that road of looking at different battery technologies and when they're shopping for batteries, um, I mean, if you go back to, like you said, 2015, 2016, Tesla comes out, you know, basically shows the market, says we can make a battery for at a great price. And needless to say, is that because they make cars, they can put this product in play at a substantially much less cost than any other battery that you and I have ever seen on the market.
right.
So 2016, 17, 18, when especially when Powerwall 2 came out, these were not available to, I mean, the market. Tesla just could not keep up with the demand. Plain
Yeah,
and simple. They just could not keep up with the demand. So what happens is other companies come into the market, they start developing batteries, and they're like, we have a solution. Okay, Mr. Installer, you can't get the Teslas, but we have these for you right now and install them. Well, needless to say, 95% of those companies that install those batteries have severe major problems, except Tesla. And so now we're in the market right now where homeowners, they know about Tesla, but then a lot of the other battery manufacturers had to go through these growing pains because they don't know a lot and they have to use a lot of third party parts for this system and repair, fixing them, these kind of things. Tesla is unmatched and all that. The customer service, I'm sure you've worked with Tesla and customer
so,
service side of things.
so Mike, the number one thing people always ask for is basically the thing that they don't offer. So they'll say, "Oh, can you give us another battery solution? Can you look into this one? Can you look into that one?" And our answer always is no. We only work with one battery solution,
Mhm.
and it's Tesla because it's the best. And until something else comes out that could supersede it, we're not going to use a crappy product on your roof and in your garage when you want this for the most critical situations when the power's out. And we're going to install a substandard battery when we know the Tesla Powerwall is still the best on the market. It's crazy. The only knock they get it, well, I don't like Elon. I'm like, well, you can not like Elon, but this is the best product in the world. And until there's a better one out there, I'm not going to install it on your home because this is what we feel comfortable with, and this is what we know is gonna, back you up in those situations. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, the bottom line is that you could put any battery you want in your garage for your family,
Yeah.
right? For your family. You can put any battery that you can get on the market. You can put anything you want in that garage that you have is sitting left of you right now. The fact that you have Teslas, not because, you know, who Elon is as a person, it's because it's the best product on the market. And we don't want to be making multiple trips to a homeowner when the system's not working over and over and over again. We don't want to put ourselves in that position. We don't want to put them in that position. We want people to be happy because if there's happy customers out there, they are going to be grateful that the system's working. If the power goes out, they're going to be happy that they have lights and everything's working. That their neighbors may not have power, and they're like, "We should get a Tesla too."
Yeah.
Um, you know, the thing is, it's crazy to me is that, and this is probably the most impressive thing to me in Tesla. The number one thing that's impressive to me. When I went to Gigafactory, I don't even know what year that was. Do you know what year that was? I went to the Gigafactory 2018 in
I think
Reno with Ben. Was that the year?
I think it was actually like 2019 or 2020 when you went
You're
there.
right. It was 2019. It was November of 2019. Correct. Yeah. So 2019, go to Gigafactory, and we had a bunch of dealers from across the world, and everyone. We're talking Australia. We're talking Europe. We're talking all across the world, and not it. It just solidifying what we thought about Tesla. Them telling us what they've worked with, and they've been in the industry for years, saying this is the best product they've ever seen.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive to me. The other thing that was impressive to me at the time was I met the marketing team for Tesla. And I think at the time, I think it was two people. That was the entire marketing team that
yeah,
James introduced me to. I go, what do you mean the entire marketing team? He goes, this is the entire marketing team for Tesla. Two people.
that's everybody.
That's everybody. And every house that we go into, everyone knows what a Tesla is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's involved. He's a technology guy. I mean, you can't dispute that. So the technology we work with, we feel it's the best. I believe you feel it's the best. That's just
The number,
simple way of saying it.
yeah, peace of mind. That's what I go with because I don't want to deal with service calls and dealing with issues in blizzards and outage situations. But French, here it is. This is the big release. This is why we jumped on to make this video.
Drum roll.
I mean, here it is, man. The Tesla Powerwall 3. This is 13.5 kilowatt hour of backup storage, same as the Powerwall 2, but the max continuous output of this is double. I mean, this is just where we always needed two Powerwalls to back up someone's full home. Now we could do that with basically one Powerwall here in New York. We always had to do secure load panels and everything else. This is just a beast in and of itself. Not only is that the backup storage that you're looking at, that's also the inverter. It's all there in one. Six maximum MPPTs in there, maximum power point trackers. Just, I mean, ridiculous product. And this is what Tesla's moving everything towards. So we have our first one that we're installing in a couple weeks, and we're going to have a couple more behind that. We just got into the weeds with stringing this, panel sizing going into it, the limitations, the advantages. There's a lot more advantages for us using this product in New York, mainly because now we could put this battery outside because it has heat mode. And in New York, it's very difficult to find areas inside of houses to put power walls. You would never believe it. You would think, oh, everyone has a garage or a basement to put it in. But the area having jurisdiction with the permitting process is difficult. So now this helps us in those areas where we could just put it on the outside and just go around all of the code compliance issues that we would have when having to find a spot to put these inside, because you need fire rated sheetrock wherever these are going inside of the house. And you wouldn't believe it, French. There's a lot of garages, some that don't have it, didn't install it properly, or they don't have a basement with it either. So now we could put them outside. But what's your take on this, man? Tesla Powerwall 3, here it is.
Yeah. So this thing has been rumored for quite some time now. I mean, you and I know everyone's been waiting in the industry for them to, they're always going to one up it, right? There's a Powerwall 4, it's going to probably eventually come out too, right? Just you and I like in our iPhones, there's always a newer model, a better model coming out. So my introduction to it was this past year at RE Plus. Tesla decided to do their very first booth there, and so for all those people out there that know what RE Plus is, it's basically a gathering point for the entire industry to gather at one place. Your solar manufacturers, your mounting, everything to do with solar in one spot. This past year was in Las Vegas, and James informed me that they were going to have a booth and they're going to reveal this battery there. Now, when you walk through this, this is really important to understand. This show has tens of thousands of people attend here. Anthony's been there, and I've been there many times at different ones across the U.S. But by a long shot, by a million miles, the busiest booth at the show was Tesla. Not even close. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I think I've seen just about every media outlet with the cameras trying to get positioned with their stands, looking at this battery, and all languages you can imagine, talking about how everyone's been waiting for this battery to come out. Um, so basically, in a nutshell, all those boxes you saw before, all those everything you saw there, we've been working with a Powerwall Plus, which is just super simple to work with, and aesthetically, it's just unbelievable. This thing just comes in and just wipes that out. That inverter you saw on top, across the top of the battery in the very top, that box you saw, the white one, is now inside this guy. And they also found a way to make the battery a little bit smaller. A lot of people don't realize it's actually a little bit, just a few inches more narrow, and it's a little bit heavier than the one. The other one was about 260, and this one's about 280 pounds. But needless to say, it has more stuff in it. The backup mode you're talking about, the continuous, I think it's like 11 kW, continuous, and almost like 15 peak.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize what that means, but you put two of these bad boys on a house. So give you an example, a great example for like your particular home, Anthony. Let's use your home as an example. Your house has three power walls of it on the side
Yeah.
in your house, which has a continuous output of 15 kW. And you actually have a video on this that you made with your wife. You went around the entire home, turned on everything in the house, and everything was showing load and how
Yeah.
the power walls were keeping up, right? In Anthony's house with three, you can take all three of those away and put one of these bad boys on the wall and would do the same thing, just about, which is pretty amazing,
Yeah,
you know.
just under it, but it would be right there. I mean, this is here it is, max continuous 11.5 kW on this,
Hmm. Yeah,
and load startup capability 185 LRA. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And I know Tesla put this slide together here. Let me see if I have it, where they basically show the what you could do with one Powerwall, charging your Tesla, 5-ton HVAC unit, 6-seat hot tub. So it's the thing about it, and I know a lot of people are going to get confused with it. You could start these units up, but it's also the same backup storage as the Powerwall 2. So it's almost like the gas tank is the same size as the Powerwall 2, but the engine is double the size on this. So it's a lot bigger where, you'll be able to, start all of these loads up, but you're still going to have the same backup storage. So you have to, do your load management good
yeah,
in blackout
yeah.
situations because you'll blow through 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage and, charging your your Model S up in no time.
Yeah, yeah, it would be, but I think smart for them, to tackle this part first, because with the homeowner, obviously, especially if they had a home that had those devices in it,
Yeah.
the designer would accommodate for those things, um, from a technical standpoint. But this eliminates those bigger homes where, um, obviously, when those things kick on, those bigger devices, they can manage, but the system can handle it, right? So that's really important. Um, but I think, another thing that's interesting about Powerwall 3, um, they've done it where they have one Powerwall that actually would have the inverter itself, but then you have uh, I call them, you know, um, just battery storage units themselves without the inverter built into it.
Yeah.
So downstream of this, you just would order another Powerwall 3 without all the duplicate of components in it, and you just have the battery itself, same unit size and everything, but no inverter built into it. So
Yeah, they were calling them the DC expansion units when they come out.
there we,
So they were saying Q3 is when they're gonna come out. So right now for our customers, anyone that wants 2 power walls, they're getting the Powerwall 3 with the inverter inside of each of them. And then Q3, they could, have the DC expansion units if we need them, or we can go back to existing homes that get 1 and just add the DC expansion unit to it, so
yeah. So pretty impressive unit. It's they, like I said, there's nothing on the market. You can do all the homework you possibly want and find everything that's on the market, and nothing comes close to this unit. by a mile. Um, yeah, now they've really set the bar. So all I gotta say to the battery manufacturers is good luck
Yeah.
trying to compete against this thing because this is a real beast. Um, yeah, it's very impressive. That's all I gotta say. It's just
Yeah.
extremely impressive.
I can't wait to see some of your installs with them. I can't wait to share some of mine on this channel. So if you want to get more information from Mike French, you could visit him at Eco Solar Hawaii. If you want more information from us, you can visit us at buysolarlocal.com. French, every video we make together, we say we're going to make it 10 minutes. Here it is. This one's 30. So one of these days we'll get to a 10-minute video. Um,
Sweet.
but till then, I'll chop this one up a little bit, French. Don't you worry about it. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I we're just excited. I guess we're excited. It's like kids in a candy shop. You don't know what candy to bite, but it's just it is really cool. Like Anthony said, it's been a while since we've made a video. Um, my most memorable one with you is probably definitely is going to be Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, the opportunity for us to be inside the stadium and just having that ambiance. Obviously, I got the Pacific Ocean right behind me, right here, and you got snow behind you. So
Yeah.
not quite as impressive or cool as Levi Stadium. Even if you're not a Levi or 49er fan, you know, I hope your Bills do a little bit better
Yeah. I was looking for
next
my
year.
Bills helmet, but it's upstairs.
Yes, I know. I was like, I don't see any Bill stuff, so and hopefully my team does a little bit better, but it's always good to do stuff with you, and um, the real benefit for everyone is the customer at their end. We just try to share our um, love and support with these guys, and we truly do appreciate them because they've made our industry a lot better.
Yeah.
I would say, and they'll continue to make great things. So,
Sounds
the
great.
wrap.
Signing
All
out.
right.
I'll see you guys next time. Later.
Okay, aloha.